My name is Lin Hao, a college student who is so ordinary that he can't be more ordinary. His biggest fun is to play games in the dormitory. In fact, my skills are not very good. In this super popular virtual network game of Tianyu, I am just a little transparent, equipped with garbage, and at average level, and no one wants it in the guild. When you go online every day, you will try to brush up the monsters, and you will be able to sell money by breaking the materials, and you will be able to make a living. That night, I made an appointment with the dead party Xiaopeng to set up a copy together, and the guy was so angry that I was so angry that I was so angry that I was so angry. Finally, when he was online, the cart smiled and said, "Brother Hao, don't be anxious. I just put on a broken mobile phone on the road and had a strange app inside. I had to decide the account number of Tianyu. What routine do you think is this?" I rolled my eyes. Don't waste my words, tighten the copy, and I'll be criticized again. Xiaopeng smiled and clicked on confirmation. As a result, the next second, my game interface suddenly turned black, and a mechanical sound came to my ears. Designer mode is activated. Welcome the new god of design, Lin Hao. What? God of design? What's this thing? I was confused. When the game screen lights up again, there is a golden flash designer panel on the interface. I clicked and saw that there were all kinds of options: modifying the rules, creating equipment, adjusting the map. Isn't this the permission of the game GM? No, this is even better than GM. I can directly modify the game data. Xiaopeng urged me in his voice, "Brother Hao, what are you looking forward to? Team up." I replied to my senses, suppressed the ecstasy in my heart, and responded to a voice, "Here you come." But the brain had already started to count. If this permission is true, then can I turn over and become a great god? Those who look down on me all have to kneel down and call me dad. In order to verify whether this thing is real, I opened the Create Equipment option at the location of my hand and filled in a few data. The weapon named Blade of Heavenly Wildness, the attack power was directly pulled to 99999, and the additional skill Thunder Strike killed all enemies in one move in a single move. The CD was only 10 seconds. I thought to myself, if this can be done, I will be completely defeated. At the moment of confirmation, the game prompted, "The Blade of Heavenly Wildness has been generated. Have you picked it up?" I shook my hand and clicked yes. The next second, there was a giant golden light flashing drama in my backpack. Looking at the changing attribute, I was stunned. This thing is real. Seeing that I had not moved for a long time, Xiaopeng couldn't help but complain, "Brother Hao, what's wrong with you? Did you fall off?" I smiled and calmly said, "It's nothing. I just picked up a small piece. Come on, let's try it." I directly put the blade of the heavenly blade, and with one hand, a group of monsters in front turned into white light, and the experience slammed upwards. Xiaopeng was shocked in his voice, "Damn, Brother Hao, have you opened it? What weapon is this harmful to it?" I kept my smile and talked nonsense. "I have good energy in a hot orange dress. Come on, we have a big deal." I already had a plan in my mind. In this game, the fattest thing is the land resources. Whoever occupies the land and who is the boss. But I am so transparent that no one accepts the guild, so why bother? It's different now. I have designer rights. Who dares to snatch me? I pulled Xiaopeng and shouted directly on the world channel, "The new guild's giant alliance recruits people. As long as you are not afraid of death, you dare to have a tough conversation with Thunder Rage." Thunder Rage is the first guild in the server. The co-star Lei Badian was so excited that he often brought people to rob the resources of small players, bullying the scattered people, and no one dared to mess with them. As soon as I shouted, the world channel exploded instantly. Who is so crazy? Dare to pick the Wrath of Thunder? The Unknown Alliance? I haven't heard of it. Where's the Wild Chicken Guild? I'm afraid this guy is alive. Lei Badian can make you unable to play even in the game. I looked at these ridicule, sneered, and added a designer buff to my guild at will, 50% offensive bonus for all members and 50 fence bonus forever. Xiaopeng saw my operation and was stunned. "Brother Hao, what did you do?" Where did this buff come from? I patted him on the shoulder and said, don't ask, I'm just good at having good luck. Come on, let's get a few people first and prepare to make trouble. Before a while, several small transparent players joined in. They were all low-level and average-equipped guys. I guess they were also bullied by the Grand Guild and wanted to hold the group to keep warm. I directly sent each of them a blue dress created by the designer, which directly beat the purple dress on the market, and several people laid out the support of me as my ancestor. Will you be so awesome? Where is this equipment? It's stronger than Thunder Wrath. I'll keep going with you, and I'll definitely eat meat. I felt a little relieved in my heart and calmly said, Lo, when we fight the first battle, we will use the Thunderous Rage to kick it off. Xiaopeng heard it and shivered in surprise. Brother how, we are only these few people. How can we fight with several hundred people? Lei Badian can crush our entire team alone. I glanced at him and smiled. What are you afraid of? With me here, Lei Badian is a big deal. Let's go and beat them up at 8 o'clock tonight, and we will go and slam them directly. Xiaopeng looked suspicious, but seeing that I was full of confidence, I didn't say much, but just muttered, I hope I won't be beaten like a dog. In a flash, it was night, and the thunderous war of thunder began in the Fire Island Valley. This place has abundant resources and is one of the most important grounds of their guild. Lei Badian led his team, bringing hundreds of elite players, and his equipment was blind and guarding the entrance with a breath of vigor. Where are our heaven-defying alliance? In addition, Xiaopeng and I have only 7 people in total, and we are standing there like delivering food. Lei Badian saw us far away, and his voice came through the game speaker, full of mockery. Yeah, isn't this the heaven-defying alliance? How many garbage dares to snatch the local plate? Lin Hao, are you getting into the water? The World Channel also started to show off, and countless people were so excited. Who is this Lin Hao? How can you be so frightened to seek death? It's probably not even a minute that Lei Badian can kill them with a slap. I heard these sarcastic remarks, and a smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. I winked at Xiaopeng and said in a low voice, let's watch me operate, you'll be responsible for calling 666. Xiaopeng was confused, but he still pointed. Lei Badian saw that we didn't leave and became impatient. Stop talking, brothers, give me and remove these garbage. With his order, dozens of elite players of the Thunderous Rage rushed over, with the skill special effects flying, and the air seemed to be about to turn us into scum in seconds. I stood in front of the team, not panicking at all. The blade of the sky in my hand raised lightly and shouted softly, Thunder Strike. The next second, a golden lightning exploded from the tip of the sword, instantly covering the entire battlefield. The dozens of elite players of Thunder Wrath did not even react, and directly turned into white light, killing them all in seconds. The whole scene was dead silent. The World Channel also calmed down for 2 seconds, and then it exploded. Damn. What's the situation? The elite team of the Thunder Wrath was completely destroyed? Lin Hao is open. The damage of this skill is not far away. The Descendant League is awesome. I'm convinced in this operation. Lei Badian stood there in a daze, his face gritted his teeth and stared at me. Lin Hao, what did you use? This is impossible. I heard my shoulders, and the sword in my hand flashed with golden light, and replied, it's nothing, it's just good luck, I've got a little bit of a tiny. Lei Jiao, what else do you have to do? Even if I come, I'll continue. Xiaopeng and several teammates were shocked. It took a few seconds to react before they reacted. They shouted wildly in their voice, Brother Hao is awesome. Kill it in seconds. What is the Wrath of Thunder? The President is invincible. Our heaven-defying alliance is about to rise. Lei Ba was trembling with anger, but he was not stupid. He knew that he would give him a shot if he continued to fight, so he slapped his next sentence. Lin Hao, this matter is not over. Wait, my thunderous anger will have you already stepped on you. After saying that, he took the rest of the people in disgrace. The land of the Flame Valley was easily taken down by 7 of us. As soon as the system prompted, the announcement of the entire server was directly flooded. congratulations to the Destiny Alliance for successfully occupying the Flame Valley and becoming the new leader. As soon as this news came out, countless players chatted with me privately and asked to join the guild. Many people directly praised it on the World Channel. Destiny Alliance is awesome. Master Lin Hao, take me flying. I felt so happy when I looked at the news that was full of news. I've slammed Libation's face, right? But I know that this guy will definitely not be good at silence, and there will be a bigger report next. But, who are you afraid? I have the designer's authority, and just modify a few data, he can't even cry. I turned my head to Xiaopeng. This is just the beginning. Tell my brothers, prepare for it, and we will go directly to the main city of the Thunderous Wrath in the next scene. Xiaopeng's eyes widened. Brother Hao, do you think it is true? That's their lair. I grinned and said, seriously? Of course, I'm serious. Does Libation look down on us? Then I'll let him see what real hope is. After receiving the lead of the Flame Valley, the reputation of the Despot Alliance was directly exploded in the entire server. The speed of the World Channel was so fast that my eyes couldn't keep up with it. Numerous players came to chat privately and asked to join the guild. Many people shouted directly in the public channel, God Lin Hao, take me away. Take me away. The riot of the heavens, the thunderous rage was fucked down. Who dares to dissatisfied? I felt so happy when I looked at these news, but my brain was still awake. After eating such a big deal, I would never let it go. With his personality, I guess he is gritting his teeth in the main city and trying to report it. But, who are you afraid of? Xiaopeng looked excited in his voice, his mouth almost grinning at his ears. Brother Hao, we are so awesome. You have a single move from Libation to a second, and his faces are green, right? I think they dare to underestimate us. I replied with a smile, don't worry, this is the beginning. Tell brothers, let's take a break, and let's do something bigger next. Xiaopeng was stunned, with a little hesitation in his voice. What's the bigger thing? What does it mean? Brother Hao, don't you really want to touch the main city of Thunder Wrath, right? I smiled, clicked the designer panel, scratched the fingers on it for a few times, and said, how can you know if you don't try it? Doesn't Libation look down on us? Then I will let him know what real hope is. As I said, I opened the map modification option directly on the panel, picked a few maps around Thunder Wrath, and started to move my hands. First, the Black Iron Forest near their main city was changed to the sky, adding a bunch of hidden traps, such as poisonous swamps, rockfalls, and hidden monsters. Even if you step on one, you can make people lose half of their blood. Then, I buried a super resource point deep in the forest, with many mines and rare materials. As long as I can break through the trap, I can directly get rich. Xiaopeng saw that I had finished the operation and was confused. Brother Hao, what are you doing? What's the use of changing the map? I patted his shoulder and said mysteriously, don't worry, you'll know when you meet. Tell the people from the guild that we will gather at 3 p.m., and we will go directly to the Black Iron Forest to open up the wasteland, and then give Libation a great gift. Before long, the guild channel became popular. Several newly joined brothers heard that the famine was about to be opened, and one was extremely excited. I will criticize you. You are going to bring us money again. Black Iron Forest? Is that place not the ground plate of the Thunderous Rage? We are going to smash the field. I looked at their enthusiasm and thought to myself, not only is it to smash the field, I also want Libation to send the ground plate to me. As soon as 3 p.m. arrived, the people from the Destiny League gathered at the entrance of the Black Iron Forest. The guild has recruited more than 50 people. Although the equipment and grades are still quite similar, each of them has the blue dress I designed on their hands, and their combat power is directly doubled. I stood in front of the team and cleared my throat. Brothers, today's goal is very simple. Take down the resource points of the Black Iron Forest. Who dares to do it? Just do it. Do you understand? I understand. Let's have meat to eat with you. The person below shouted loudly, and his vigor came up all of a sudden. Xiaopeng stood beside me, muttering in a low voice, Brother how, we are still few. What if the thunder rage counterattacks? I glanced at him and said calmly, don't worry, it's better that they came. I'm worried that no one will give it to anyone. After saying that, I led my team straight into the forest. After walking in for a few steps, I really stepped on the poisonous swamp I set up. Several brothers instantly lost 1/3 of their blood, which made them whisper, damn, what's this thing? Why are you suddenly poisoned? I pretended to be surprised and shouted, be careful, there are traps here, the team is dispersed, tighten me. I was secretly stolen in my heart, and the effect was better than I expected. However, the trap has little impact on us because I have secretly added a resistance buff to the guild members, and the harm of poison and traps is directly reduced. The team quickly calmed down, and rushed forward by killing monsters, and cleared a way out without a single moment. A lot of rare materials were also filled with them along the way, and everyone's sentiment became higher and higher, and the voices were full of 666. At this moment, a sound of footsteps came from afar. I glanced at it and hey, it was indeed the person from the Thunder Wrath. The person who brought the head was not someone else, but Lay Badian himself. This guy was wearing purple and was full of violet clothes, followed by at least 200 people, all of which were above 60, and the special effects of the equipment made people blinded. After reading this campaign, I guess I heard the news that we entered the forest and came to block us. Lay Badian saw me far away, and Lima sneered in the regional channel, Lin Hao, you really have a kind of guy. How dare you come to my thunderous turmoil? I didn't count on you in the last time about the Fire Island Valley. Don't even think of leaving today. The world channel exploded in an instant, and countless people of melon eating were flooding the screen, it's so bad. Lay Badian takes action, and the Despair Alliance is probably going to be a disaster this time. No matter how awesome Lin Hao is, he can't beat 200 people, right? I heard these ridicule and was not panicked. I winked at Xiaopeng and said in a low voice, be ready, just wait for the show. Xiaopeng was confused, but he still pointed, okay, Brother Hao, I believe you. I grinned and took the team directly to the deep forest. I still deliberately asked, Children Lay, come on, you can catch up with me. Lay Ba's face was so angry that his face was crooked. Lima ordered, brothers, chase me. Break that boy Lin Hao into the forest. With an order, the number 200 people rushed into the forest with great difficulty, and their skills were flying in the sky, and their atmosphere seemed to be about to trample us into meat paste. But without taking a few steps, they began to get hit. First, they stepped on the poisonous swamp, the blood slug fell, and then the rocks fell to the top, and the hidden monster stole the ball, and the team formed a group in an instant. Bog, what's going on? Why are they all traps? God, help, I'm almost seeing my blood. The thunderous man wailed and roared, and the team dispersed directly. Even Lay Badian himself was not spared. He was attacked by a bunch of invisible monsters, and his blood bar fell off quickly. He was so angry that he shouted in the regional channel, Lin Hao, what tricks are you playing? How did this forest become like this? I stood far away and looked at them stumbling, and replied, Long Lay, the game has been updated. Isn't it normal to have too many traps? Otherwise, you can withdraw first and come to play with me another day. As soon as this came out, the world channel exploded again, ha ha ha, Lay Badian was played in the palm of Lin Hao, and I was so laughed to death. The operation of the Descendant Alliance was too good, and all 200 people in the Wrath of Thunder were trapped, and the people were too big. Lay Ba was so angry that he almost vomited blood, but he was not bad either. There were too many traps and monsters, and they couldn't resist them at all. Finally, he could only grit his teeth and order, retreat. All of them will be sent back. The man number 200 ran out of the forest with gray faces. Many equipment fell off the road, and almost all the blood was seen, and the wolf was scattered home. And what about our heaven-defying alliance? I was so relaxed to the depths of the forest that I began to dig up the materials wildly. Several brothers looked at the rare resources in their backpacks and shouted excitedly, I will be the long-term bullpen. This place is a paradise. Those fools of Lay Badian, help us to thunder, ha ha ha. I looked at their happy mood and felt very happy. I added a refresh buff to the resource point to double the materials. In this battle, the Desert Alliance not only captured the Black Iron Forest, but also successfully acquired a large amount of resources, and the guild warehouse was directly flooded. The 200 people of the Thunder Wrath were completely defeated, and Lay Badian's face was completely exhausted. The World Channel is full of news that praises us. This wave of IQ in the Destiny Alliance is crushing. Lay Badian is afraid he will vomit blood, right? God Lin Hao, take me to the guild, I want to follow you. However, I know that Lay Badian and others won't be so aware of it. Sure enough, within a few days, he spoke on the World Channel, asking to take his team to avenge the revenge, and also saying that he would remove the Despot Alliance from all submissions. When Xiaopeng heard the news, Lima panicked. Brother Hao, Lay Badian will definitely come out this time. What should we do? I smiled, clicked on the designer panel, and created a brand new copy called the Desperate and Deep Purity. The mechanism inside has changed so much that I feel that I have scored too much. What's the matter? I replied calmly, isn't Lay Badian coming to find fault? Then I will prepare a gift package for him so that he can't get out. As I said, I set the entrance to the copy on the must-see road near the main city of Thunder Wrath, and issued an announcement on the World Channel, the Ultimate Destiny is opened, and I will pass the first prize artifact. Do you dare to come and try the water? As soon as this news came out, all players on the server were in a state of great excitement. Who doesn't want the artifact bonus? Lay Badian was even roasted on the fire, and gritted his teeth and replied, Lin Hao, you have a kind of thing. I have the thunderous rage in this dungeon. That night, he directly brought 500 elite players and rushed into the entrance of the dungeon with great confidence, as if he was about to trample us. But what they didn't know was that the mechanism of this copy was all designed by me. The first thing was infinite illusion. Those who came in would be trapped in the mist, teammates could not see each other, and they would be randomly attacked by the system. If they were not careful, they would be killed instantly. The Thunder Wrathful man just entered and started to collapse within a few minutes, with whining in his voice, Long, what's the broken place? Why are they all illusions? Damn, I was cut off by my own people. Who is playing skills indiscriminately? Lay Badian himself was not much better. After being trapped by the illusion, he was forced to get rid of most of his blood by the system monster. In the end, even the boss was not seen, and the entire team was completely destroyed. As soon as the system announcement came out, the entire server exploded again. The Thunder Rage challenge was ultimately deep, and all the members were killed. Lin Hao's copy is designed too ruthlessly, and Lay Badian can't beat the first priority. I looked at the announcement, sneered, and sent a message to the people of the Destiny Alliance. Brothers, come in the dungeon and win the prize. Lay Badian has helped us open the way. After this operation, the reputation of the Unsightly League directly hit Yunqiao, and the guild rankings have gone from silently to the top 10 of the entire server. Many people applied to join the system have been stuck. Xiaopeng looked at the number of guilds from 50 to 500, and asked me dumbfoundedly, Brother Hao, we are going to go against the sky. What's next? I glanced at the name of Thunder Rage on the rankings and sniffed at the corner of my mouth. Next. Of course, it's about trampling Lay Badian down so that all servers know who is the real boss. At this moment, the system suddenly released a private message, and the sender turned out to be Lay Badian. I clicked and saw only one sentence inside, Lin Hao, at noon tomorrow, I will fight against Tianfeng Mountain. Do you dare to come? I looked at the news, narrowed my eyes slightly, and thought to myself, what a guy, do you want to have a last fight? Okay, I will play with you and see who can laugh to the end. I looked at Lay Badian's private news, knocked on the keyboard with my fingers, and sneered in my heart, decide to fight Tianfeng Mountain? Okay, this guy is really unwilling to give up. Okay, I will play this last game with you, so that you can convince you. I replied slowly, it will be noon tomorrow, it will be right now, don't worry. After sending the message, I closed the chat window directly and started counting in my brain. Xiao Pang heard this in his voice, and Lima exploded. Brother Hao, are you really going? Tianfeng Mountain is the nest of the thunderous wrath, and there are all their people around him. Are we not going to the tiger's mouth? I glanced at the guild list of the Guild of the Anti-Heaven Alliance on the screen and said calmly, what are you panic? Didn't Lei Badian want to fight? Then I will give them a teaching that I will never forget. Notify them, and the guild will gather, and all the members will participate tomorrow at noon. When Xiao Pang heard this, his voice shivered. Brother Hao, although we have too many people, it is still far worse than Thunder Wrath. They can crush us by pulling a few thousand people. I smiled, clicked the designer panel, and operated it quickly with my fingers. Is it too far? Then let the gap become 0. I'm optimistic, I'll give you a big job. As I said, I created a large-scale event for full service on the panel, named the Trial of God. The setting of this event is simple and rough. The event is set at Tianfeng Mountain, and the mainline mission is to challenge a series of super difficult links. The final winner can win the Creative God Crown designed by me, Creative God Crown. This thing not only has an explosion in its attributes, but also comes with a divine power system that is the only passive skill in the entire server, which can reduce the attack power of all enemies in the range by 30%. It is simply a magical tool against the sky. In addition, I also added a ranking list to the event. Based on the player's performance in the cards, the number 1 rank directly became the King of Trials, recognized by the entire server. As soon as the activity rules were set up, I quickly changed several checkpoints in Tianfeng Mountain to a very difficult time. The first is Fire Trial, the full-ground rock trap. The flame monster that is refreshed at random can kill any crispy skin in seconds. The second is the Wind of the Storm. Players have to climb a mountain in the wild wind, and they are accidentally blown off the cliff, and their blood strips are cleared. The third is the End of Gods and Demons, which directly comes to a super boss with a health of 1 billion yuan, and the attack will be dead. It will not be able to escape without any hardcore operations. Of course, I didn't leave any way to survive. I secretly added a hidden buff to the members of the Narcissus League to reduce environmental damage by 50%, and the hatred value of the junction monster will be preferred to lock people in other guilds. After setting up these, I directly released an announcement on the World Channel. The full server event, the God's Trial, will be opened at 12 noon tomorrow in Tianfeng Mountain. The first God-level award is waiting for you to win. The first King of Trials on the ranking list. If you dare to come and challenge it, come here. As soon as this news came out, the World Channel exploded instantly. The trough, God's test? God's prize? Who can stand it? The Creation God Crown. I will criticize the name when I hear it, and I must participate. Is Tianfeng Mountain not the ground plate of Thunder Wrath? How did this event be decided? What if he doesn't matter? Master Lin Hao must have arrangements. The Descendant Alliance will show off its operations again. When Lei Badian saw the announcement, his lungs were almost blown up. Lima replied in the World Channel, Lin Hao, what are you doing? Tianfeng Mountain is my thunderous rage. Do you dare to set the activity like this? Okay, tomorrow I will take the whole guild to guard it. Let's see what you have done. I looked at his shouting, and I sneered at the corner of my mouth, thinking, keep it? Okay, I will collect as many people as possible. That night, the guild channel of the Anti-Tian League was as popular as the New Year, with more than 500 people ready to prepare for tomorrow's activities. I have provided you with some temporary equipment created by designers. Although the properties are not top-notch, they should be used for the first 2 aspects. Xiao Pang looked at the equipment and couldn't help asking, Brother Hao, what do you think about this activity? We have few people. What should I do if I get blocked by the Thunder Rage? I patted his shoulder and said calmly, blocking? They can pass the first link first. Tomorrow you don't care about anything, follow me, and I guarantee you will be so happy. At 11:50 noon the next day, tens of thousands of players gathered under the foot of Tianfeng Mountain, and the dense crowds of people made people's skin numb. The thunderous man was indeed out of the nest. Lei Badian stood at the entrance of the event with his head, followed by several thousand people, one with well-equipped and vigorous decoration. Other Grand Guild and Sanrin players also came to be popular, and the World Channel was flooding the screen quickly enough to Cardon. How can the Descendant Alliance fight against Thunder Wrath? Is the great Master Lin Hao not going to be so angry, right? Where are the people? I came here with 500 people from the Anti-Heaven Alliance and deliberately dragged it until 11:59 before appearing near the entrance. Lei Badian looked at me far away, and Lima sneered and said, Lin Hao, do you really dare to come? Today, I am the thunderous rage guarding this entrance, see how you enter. I glanced at him, and said in a flash, and replied directly, stay the entrance. Okay, don't even be able to pass the first meeting at that time, let the person go home. The voice fell, and the system announcement came out, the God's Trial has officially opened, the check-in entrance has been opened, and all players can enter freely. Good luck. With the announcement, a white light flashed from the entrance to the event, and thousands of players rushed in an instant, and the scene was in a mess. The thunderous people were indeed blocked near the entrance and tried to intercept us, but there were too many people, and they couldn't stop them. I directly brought the people from the Destiny Alliance from the side and forced myself to enter the first fire trying. As soon as I entered the junction, the rock monsters were full of heat and the flame monsters were refreshed at random. The players started to wail in just a few seconds. Damn, what's the difficulty? Step on the rock monster and lose half of the blood. Why is the flame monster so fierce? I'll kill me in seconds with one claw. The people in the thunderous wrath relied on the number of people and rushed in front, but they were so burned that they were so angry that they were so angry that they were so angry that they were scattered. And what about our heaven-defying alliance? Because of the environmental damage reduction buff I added, the rock trap has little impact on us. Everyone followed me in an orderly manner. When they encountered a flame monster, they directly concentrated fire and killed it in seconds, and the speed was so fast that they could fly. Xiao Peng was stunned in the team and shouted in his voice, Brother Hao, is this so good, right? Why are we not doing anything? I smiled and replied, the energy is so good, don't waste your time, keep up tightly, let's just turn the second step. At the end of the first link, the system announced the first batch of lists of 500 people from the Anti-Tian League passed, and the Thunder Wrath was halfway through the thunderous rage. Lei Badian himself forced himself to get in touch, and his face roared in the area, Lin Hao, you must have a problem. What's wrong with this link? I took him seriously and directly led the team to the second link, the storm. The craziness effect of this level changes simply. Players are blown to the point of being tilted when they walk a few steps on the mountain road, and fall off the cliff if they are not careful. The people from other guilds were even more apprehensive. The team was blown away directly, and countless people were wailing on the cliff. The World Channel was full of complaints, who can pass this? The wind was so big that it looked like a storm. I lost 3 times, and the blood was empty. The number of people who were angry in the thunder was useless here at all. Lei Badian carried the remaining elites, but was still blown away. Our Tianbing alliance is as stable as an old dog. With the blessing of buff, the violent wind damage was directly reduced. I also opened a temporary windproof barrier in front of the team. Everyone climbed to the top of the mountain and became the first team to connect to the second-level team. As soon as the system announcement came out, the entire server exploded again. The entire team of the Despot Alliance is connected with the storm, and Lin Hao has the highest speed in the team. Is this Nima possible? Is it true that Master Lin Hao opened? After the second round, Lei Badian finally couldn't help it and sent me a private chat. Lin Hao, this event must be your fault. Let's cooperate and win 55 points. What's the case? I looked at the news and almost laughed out loud, and replied, cooperation? President Lei, your brain is not bad, right? I want to win the prize, go through the third round first. After posting the news, I blocked him directly, thinking, want to get a share with me? No door. The third thing about the end of Gods and Demons, we are greeted by a super boss Shadow of Demons with a health of 1 billion yuan. This guy can kill a group of people in one move. All skills are AoE, and they can't even hide. The people from other guilds were all killed in just a few minutes, and even the elite teams led by Lay Badian did not escape the first wave of attacks and directly teamed up. The World Channel was wailing, "Who can this boss fight? He will die with one move, and he will play with a hair. The thunderous rage is over, can the Desert Alliance behave?" I looked at the boss's skill special effects and slapped the corner of my mouth and had already prepared the solution. Before entering the junction, I added a god-level protective shield to myself, which can be immune to the effect of death. I also added a collective blood recovery buff to the team, recovering 5% of the health per second, and reducing the pressure of the boss to a minimum. Then, I took out the blade of the Heavenly Wild Blade and directly activated the ultimate move Thunder Strike. A golden light flashed over, and the boss blood strip instantly dropped a lot. The rest of the team followed the fire, and after less than 10 minutes, the shadow of the demon god fell directly. The system announcement commented on the entire server, "Congratulations to the demon god Shadow of the Demon God for the first time, completing the full-level cartoon Link of the Gods trial, and winning the God-level awards Creative God Crown." As soon as the announcement was released, players of the entire server were in a complete accident, and the World Channel was flooded with card, "The Great Alliance of the Heavens. The Great God Lin Hao is invincible. Who dares to provoke the Heavens League? What happened to Lay Badian? He won the third party, won't even enter the third party, right?" I felt so happy when I looked at the news that I directly installed the Creation Gods League, and a circle of golden light flashed above my head. The whole person looked like a living god. At this time, the rankings have also been updated. My points have been out of second place by several 100,000, and I am sitting in the King of Trials treasure. Lay Badian yelled in the regional channel, "Lin Hao, this matter is not over. My thunderous rage is not over with you." I sneered, took him directly to the foot of the Tianfeng Mountains, and prepared to receive the resource bonus after the event. The system soon announced that the fertile lands around Tianfeng Mountain were directly planned to be owned by the Anti-Tian Alliance. The guild's resources were so numerous that it was full. The number of people applying to join exceeded 10,000 in an instant, and the system was almost collapsed. Xiaopeng shouted excitedly in his voice, "Brother Hao, we have really achieved the first place in the server this time. That guy Lay Badian is probably vomiting blood." I smiled and replied, "First, this is not enough. Next, I have a bigger plan, so that all the players in the server kneel down and call me a great god." At this moment, the system suddenly popped up a private message, and the sender showed it as official operation. The content was only one sentence, "Mr. Lin Hao, we are the Tianyu Game Company. Do you want to cooperate with you in person to facilitate the interview and chat?" I looked at the message, narrowed my eyes slightly, thinking, has the official come to the door? It seems that the game's Leezy has just begun. I felt a little relieved when I looked at the private news released by the official operation. Did the game company come to me? This is even more exciting than the number one in the server. But I was still very calm on my face and replied, "Okay, meet and chat, you can decide the time and place." After posting the message, I closed the chat window and turned to Xiaopeng, "Brother, I have a good time to watch next. Be ready to welcome the top-level worship of the entire server." Xiaopeng was confused and asked in a hurry in his voice, "Brother Hao, what's the good thing? What the official is asking for you? Wouldn't it be to check you and open it?" I laughed and replied, "Check out Mao, my brother's operation is so stupid. What can they find out? Don't waste your words, help me get some serious business first. We have to grab the faith of the whole server in our hands." Xiaopeng heard the clouds and foggy, but he still pointed, "Okay, Brother Hao, do whatever you say, I'll do it with you." I clicked on the designer panel and tapped my fingers quickly, and I had a big plan in my heart. Since Lay Badian is still not giving up and the game company is here to reconcile, then I will do the biggest event on the server and engrave my reputation in the history of the world of heaven. I created an unprecedented mission on the panel, named Lord of Heaven. The content of the mission is simple and rough. Players of the entire server challenged a super floating island Divine Heavenly Palace together. The connections on the island are difficult to reach. In the end, the players or guild who failed to protect the boss Lord of Heavenly Domain will be awarded the only supreme name Lord of Heavenly Domain in the entire server, plus a set of my hand-designed god-level set Lord of Heavenly Domain that directly crushes all existing equipment. What's even more awesome is that I directly revealed my identity in the mission announcement and wrote, "I am Lin Hao, and the god of design in the realm of heaven. This is the final attempt. Those who dare to challenge will come to the Battle of Heavenly Palace. The winner will share the honor with me, and the winner will only kneel down and bow down." As soon as this news came out, the world channel exploded directly, and the screen was so fast that the system was stuck. Bottle. Is Lin Hao the god of design? The Lord of the Heavenly Realm? God level set? I must participate. The god of design has been off the scene. Who dares not come to this event? Master Lin Hao, take me flying. Looking at the news, I squirted at the corner of my mouth and thought to myself, this wave not only wants to make Lei Badian fully convinced, but also makes all server players willing to call me a great god. Xiaopeng was so excited that he was speechless. Brother Hao, are you really public? What if the guy Lei Badian caught the handle? I sneered and replied, hand? Does he have that ability? Come on, notify all members of the guild and prepare to welcome the last battle. The activity will be open in 3 days. During these 3 days, I didn't care about it and directly designed the Shenxi Tiangong Palace into a moving mystery. The slim layer inside is full of traps and super monsters. The final boss Divine Domain has a health of 10 billion yuan, and all the skills are instant death effects. I can't get over it without any hardcore power. Of course, I secretly added a divine protective buff to the members of the Narcissus League to reduce damage by 30%, plus a hidden map prompt, so that we can directly take shortcuts to the last link. What people are Lei Badian? How to lose love, how to lose love, how to lose love, they are lucky to be in front of the boss. 3 days passed in a flash. On the day the event started, the entrance to Xinhua Tiangong Palace exploded directly. There were hundreds of thousands of players serving the whole service, and the scene was as strange as the vegetable market. The Thunder Wrathful Man came indeed. Lei Badian stood in front with thousands of people, blocking the entrance with a strong aura, looking far away at me, and sneered directly in the regional channel, "Lin Hao, you really dare to call yourself the god of design? Today, I thunder wrathful as my strength as I can, and I want you to know who is the real overlord of the realm of heaven." I glanced at him, and said nothing, and replied directly, Long, it's useless to be stubborn. If you can fight until the end, then challenge me." After saying that, I brought thousands of people from the Anti-Heaven Alliance to the entrance from the side, and I didn't care about their picks. The system announcement immediately started, the director of the Heavenly Realm has opened, and the entrance to the Heavenly Palace has been opened. I wish all players a good luck. As soon as the voice fell, hundreds of thousands of people rushed into the floating island in an instant, with the special skill effects flying all over the sky, and the sound of killing was shocking. The first thing is about Misused Sky Road. Once you enter, you will find a white fog. You can see less than 5 meters. The ground is full of hidden traps. The flying monsters that are refreshed at random are even more unpredictable. The people who were angry with the thunder and furious were moving forward, but they stepped on the trap without taking a few steps. The blood slug fell down, and the formation directly formed a group. Other guilds and scattered players are not much better. The world channel is full of wailing. What kind of breaking the link? You can die if you can't see anything. Why are there so many traps? Who can get through it? Where are our heaven-defying alliance? With map prompts, I took the team to easily traverse most of the traps. The flying monster also greatly reduced the damage due to the buff effect, which almost did not cause any threat to us. In less than half an hour, we were the first to issue the first link. As soon as the system announcement came out, the whole server exploded again. The first time in the Descendant League is the Foggy Road. Lin Hao is the first to lead the team to the top. Xiaopeng shouted excitedly in his voice, "Brother Hao, it's so good." Lei Badian's group is still revolving around in the Foggy, and he must be vomiting blood. I smiled and said calmly, "Don't worry, this is the first thing to do, there is something to do later. Brothers, let's go straight to the last thing to do." For the next few things, we were still unstoppable, relying on buffs and map prompts. We crushed all the way, while the Wrath of Thunder and other guilds were tortured by various traps and monsters, and the number of people in the team was reduced. Lei Badian was so angry in the regional channel, "Lin Hao, your link is not something that people can pass. You are so sensible." I heard his roar and replied, "Child Lei, sensible? This is the test of the god of design. If you can't go, just be sensible, don't waste your time." A few hours later, our heaven-defying alliance finally arrived at the last Taoist palace, and what we welcomed was the Lord of the Heavenly Realm with a blood volume of 10 billion. This guy is 100 meters tall and has black and purple thunder. He can kill the whole scene in seconds with one move, and his skill special effects are blocked when the screen is stuck. Xiaopeng looked at the boss's attributes and his legs were soft. "Brother, how can I hit this thing? A slap can kill our entire team." I patted his shoulder and smiled. "What are you afraid of? Let me operate." Speaking of this, I directly added a on-site defense buff to immunize all the immediate effects of death. Then I took out the Skyblade and activate the ultimate move Thunder Strike. A golden light flashed over, and the boss blood bar instantly dropped a large part. I added a combinational injury-enhancing buff to the team. Everyone followed the fire and the skill special effects were smashed all over the screen. The boss's bloodline dropped at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than 20 minutes, the Lord of the Heavenly Realm made a roar that shocked the sky and fell down. The system announced that it would send full servers. "Congratulations to the Destiny Alliance for the first time to kill the Lord of the Heavenly Realm, complete the mission of the Director of the Heavenly Realm, and obtain the supreme name of the Lord of the Heavenly Realm and the godly set of the Lord of the Godly Unit." As soon as this announcement was released, the players of the server were completely in a mess, and the world channel was flooded with the screen, "Lin Hao's great god Niu Chuang. The Lord of the Heaven Realm has obtained, who dares not accept it? The Heaven Alliance is invincible. The god of design is just a sling. What happened to Lei Badian? He won't even get in the last link, right?" I was so happy when I looked at these news that I directly put the Master of the Lord's set on the set, and the golden light shining on the top of my head. The name of Master of the Heaven Realm appeared. The whole person looked like the true god in the game. At this moment, Lei Badian's team finally came to the enemy, and thousands of people were forced to break to a few hundred, and grey faces appeared at the entrance of the Hall of Lords. Lei Badian looked at the name on my head and the golden light, his face was blue, and he roared with gritted teeth and said, "Lin Hao, what methods did you use? This task is not something that humans can accomplish." I glanced at him, sniffed at the corner of my mouth, and replied in a daze, "Long Lei means? This is called practical power. If you get it, just accept it. Don't make excuses. Come on, kneel down and call the Great Master. I'll consider letting you go." As soon as this came out, the regional channel exploded directly, and the people from the Descendant League shouted, "Kneel down. Call me a great god." Lei Ba's face was green, but he knew that Dejin had gone, so he gritted his teeth and stopped saying a word. He took the remaining soldiers and retreated out of the floating island in shame. The world channel was instantly flooded with the screen, Lei Ba Tianqing. The great god Lin Hao ruled all the submission. The Lord of the Heavenly Realm, the god of design, who dares to refuse to accept it? Kneel down. After the event, all the top-level land resources around Xinjiao Tiangong were owned by the Anti-Giant Alliance. There were so many guild warehouses that the system could not save. The number of applicants directly exceeded 100,000. On the ranking, we sat first and threw the second place out of several streets. Seeing these results, I felt so comfortable in my heart. I turned my head to Xiaopeng, "Brother, no one dares to mess with us this time. Is it okay to be convinced and believe it?" Xiaopeng smiled and said, "Good. Brother Hao, you are a living god. My Xiaopeng, I will follow you." At this moment, the actual mobile phones suddenly started to rise. I took off my VR helmet and saw that it was a strange number. After connecting, a respectful man voice came from the listening tube. "Hello, Mr. Lin Hao, we are representatives of the Tianyu Game Company and have already come down to your dormitory. Can you come down?" I heard this, stunned for a moment, immediately grinned, and thought, "Come quickly, okay, I'll see what conditions you can get out." I changed my clothes and got off the dormitory building. Sure enough, I saw a black business car parked on the road. There were several middle-aged men in suits standing next to the car. When I saw me, I met up with my horse. The man on my head smiled with his face. "Mr. Lin, I have long been famous. I am Zhang Hua, the chief executive of the Tianyu. I came to discuss cooperation with you this time." I glanced at them and asked casually, "Cooperation? Let's hear, what are the conditions?" Zhang Hua smiled and passed a document, which was so respectful. "Mr. Lin, we see your operation in your eyes. The designer's authority is in your hands, and we have simply played Tianyu alive. Our company wants to hire you to ask for a chief designer. The annual salary is 1 billion yuan, plus the red score of 5% of the game's income. What do you think?" When I heard this number, I was shocked, but I was still very calm on the face. After receiving the document, I flipped it out and replied, "The conditions are good, but I want to add another one. I have the final decision for the game as a major update in the future. I have the final decision. Is it okay?" Zhang Hua was stunned for a moment, and immediately became busy. "Okay. Of course. Mr. Lin, as long as you are willing to cooperate, all conditions are easy to say." I looked at his attitude and sneered at the corner of my mouth, thinking, not only is the game in this game, but it is also a direct reversal in reality. When the contract was signed, Zhang Hua and the others left with great gratitude. I took the document back to the dormitory, and I felt so happy. At night, I put on my VR helmet and logged into the game. The World Channel was still browsing my name. Numerous players chatted privately and asked me to fly. Many people even called me God of Design. The scene was simple and not too hot. Xiaopeng was so excited in his voice. "Brother Hao, did you hear that you have discussed with the official? You have also lost money in reality." I laughed and replied, "What's the point of expending money? I am now a god in the game, a big shot in the real world, 2 legends, do you understand?" Speaking of this, I directly posted a message on the World Channel. "Brothers, I, Lin Hao, the God of Design. From now on, the Ninethian Alliance is the top of the world of heaven. Who wants to govern the entire server with me? Come on." As soon as this news came out, the Ninethian channel finally got crazy, and countless players responded, "The God of Design Yo Chuang. The Ninethian Alliance is invincible. God of Hao, take me flying. God of Zhenju, kneel down." I looked at the full screen of worship news, and the feeling of satisfaction in my heart was bursting. From a game transparent, to a fully committed design god, to a real counterattack boss, along the way, Lei Batian was trampled under my feet, and the game company held a contract to seek cooperation. What else is more exciting than this? I leaned against the chair, humming a small song in my mouth, thinking to myself, this game, this life is worth it. From now on, the realm of heaven is my world, and no one will work,